All right, so up next is agenda adjustments, of which there is one. Under 6, we'd like to add a 6B, approval of the school physician. I'll make a motion to add that to the agenda.
Second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. All right. So next is consideration of the minutes. There's 2 sets of minutes. I will make a motion for the consideration of the June 19th, 2018 meeting minutes.
Second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And then I will make a motion for the approval of the July 20th, 2018 meeting minutes.
Second that?
Is there any discussion? And all those in favor? Next is approval of the warrants, which I believe are making their way down. We can do all 3 in one slot, right? So while they're making their way down, I will make a motion for the approval of payroll warrants 26, 1 and 2, main PERS for June and July, and then warrants 26, 26A, 26B, and we've already done 1, 2.
Second?
Well, I was gonna wait till, I'm sorry. Any discussion while Mark gets them quick? Just wait for Mark.
Brian said he's logging in now.
All right, all those in favor? All right. Public comment. Anyone have any public comment? All right, seeing none, we're on to presentations, the first of which is the superintendent report.
Thank you. I have a few items to report on. First of all, I want to distribute a publication that came out recently from MSMA. It's a legislative update that they put out just reviewing the results of the
Are we concerned at all? And by we, I mean you, I guess. Sorry. It seems like we haven't had much interest in the 0.5 grade 5 at all, right?
Yes. Darren and I have talked about that, and I asked that we
All right, so next up is principals reports. Darren, if it's all right, we'll start with you, or did you want to start, Heath? Yep, go ahead.
Good evening. You don't have to worry about a middle school principal. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm here this year. I'd like first to start, I'd like to acknowledge a couple of our custodians at the middle school, Richard Marquis and John Jackson. Unbelievable work ethic this past summer. They're working nonstop, so I wanted to say thank you, and I definitely appreciate you. That's for sure. He just left, but I also wanted to say thank you for Sean. Sean has a lot of stuff going on with networking, and then he gets a bunch of us coming and asking for these little things that might seem petty to him, but he always takes care of it right away. So thank you, Sean. Okay, I just wanted to keep this real brief, just to let you know what we're doing, getting ready for the upcoming school year. I think some of you received a phone call tonight, which is good. All right, just wanted to kind of give you a heads up as far as what's coming your way. A big part of that message was about those back to school packets. So this is going to be the second year that we do that, where we send everything together in one packet. I remember when I taught, and I remember parents always complaining about, those first 2 or 3 weeks where you get all kinds of papers and they get lost. So rather to avoid that, we send it at once. It'll give you a couple of weeks, parents, to look through that. If you have any questions, you can email us or call us, and then you can send everything back at once. So I am racking my brain and trying to get everything in there. One big thing that is different this year is the student schedules. I think I mentioned that at the last board meeting. We've been spending a lot of time putting together all student schedules. We even have their math placements. With all of that being said, and I'm going to explain this in my letter, I want parents to know that we put these schedules together, but it doesn't mean that's it. There could be some small errors. I doubt it. Hopefully not. But if there are, I'm going to encourage parents to email us, let us know if they have any concerns, and then we can definitely fix them at the start of the week, if not before. Some parents might ask, well, my son worked really hard and he really would like to be in Algebra 1 in his 8th grade year. Okay, that's great, and we can see if we can, those first couple of days he can take those math placements again and we can change his class. Not a big deal. So I hope that eases some stress for some of our students coming in this year. So that's what we've been working on. Moving on to curriculum and instruction. We've mentioned this, or we've talked about this a little bit at past board meetings. This year, as a school, I'd really like to focus on 3 things, and one being that the NWEA projected math growth goals. We talked about that. There's been a trend in the last 3 or 4 years for 6th and 7th grade that haven't quite been where we want them. So we're of course going to focus on not just that, but I think we're going to spend a lot more time with that. We have a new 6th grade math teacher that teaches 2 math classes. So I'm excited to dive into that and see what's going on. Along with that, we're going to look at our social studies curriculum. We want to make sure that all of our standards are aligned to obviously the state standards, and we want to work closely with ASA and the high school. I know the high school, talked to Sean about it, their curriculum map is pretty amazing. And the middle school's kind of so this year we're really going to focus on that and make sure that we're aligned with those 2 schools. And finally, we want to spend some time with social development program, whether it's habits of mind, not sure we do something already, but we want to make sure that those kids coming from 5th grade, it's not something totally new or nothing at all. So those are the 3 things we want to spend some time with this year. I did want to mention a little bit about fall sports. I know a lot of times the community will come to you and ask you what's going on. So as you can see there, and I mentioned a lot of that in my email, I did want to point out there, if you know some people, and I actually feel pretty good that I'm going to fill these positions. Those are the positions for the upcoming fall that I need to fill. Actually, I do feel pretty good about all of those, with the exception of a fall drama director. So, Jake, if you're interested, you gotta see that application. But no, and all joking aside, that's the only position I'm a little bit worried about, but we still have some time. And then finally, I thought this was interesting, and I thought you guys would think this is interesting as well. We finished the school year with 170 students. We lost what was large for us, an 8th grade class. Over the summer, we've received 7 new students, so we're now right where we left off. And if you look below, those are the numbers per grade level, and then you can see new per grade. And there were talks today that we might get another 7th grader to make that class even larger. But I can tell you we're ready, and we are excited for the school year. Questions?
I do have one question. Will parents be able to tell the math placement when they get the packets in the mail?
Yes. Yep. It's listed on the course. It'll say Algebra 1, or it'll say if it's the flex class or not.
And that placement reflects the recommendations coming up from ASA for that group of last year's 5th graders who did 6th grade math.
That is part of it. There's 5 different pieces to their placement going into a math class. One is the teacher recommendation. We took their new year scores, and there was a performance task, and there was one other one I can't remember. So yes, it is a part of it. Yep. They sent that up, and we actually spent some time with their recommendations, the math teachers, and placed them strategically. Also spent some time on who works well with who and whatnot. Yep, a lot of thought. Great, thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Am I on now? Okay, just want to be sure. I'm not sure I met everyone here, so I'm Darren Ackerman. I'm the principal at ASA, the new principal. I'm thrilled to be here, and I've had an extraordinary opening, I would say. I've met approximately 32 staff members in the past 8 days. This is a testament, I think, to their involvement and their wish to be included, and a testament to their culture, really, of the school, which is what attracted me. Fascinating to have discussions. So people would have emailed me, they would like to meet. So I've had the opportunity already to work with some folks. Most recently, we were interviewing for the .5 position, 5th grade, and of course we do have a 1st grade candidate today as well. So already things are moving. It's remarkable how sustainable cultures are over time. Teachers want to know if I have an agenda, and really I need to be an observer. And what I've been able to observe in the initial few weeks is really a high-functioning school. And I'm going to start with some specifics. Obviously, you've read my report, so I'll just point out a few things. First and foremost, Kate Crane, my administrative assistant, and Lisa Earhart, the guidance counselor, sent out an enormous load of teacher newsletters, stuffing them by hand. This was about a 7-hour process, and they were so dedicated, I didn't want to interfere, so I just stayed out of the way. And of course, they forgot to stuff one thing and had to go back, and this is a rather typical thing. But again, it was just wonderful to see how timely and efficient they were in pulling this off. On other fronts, I'm going to flip to the back actually. since I've had so many discussions with our maintenance crew, I would like to recognize Joe Mason, Keith Jennings, and Tim Belaski are doing an outstanding job. It's amazing how much work there is. Elementary school comes with so many accessories, let's face it. They're all in the hallway right now. And what we're finding is, and I've seen this before, when you're waxing floors in this kind of humidity, you really have to wait until things calm down a little bit. So they've done a marvelous job. They are moving through at rocket speed, including making height proportionate cubbies in the third grade wing. Apparently students are getting taller, I'm not sure. But it was kind of an interesting customized piece. So I really did want to address the fact that they've done such a marvelous job, and they seem an integral part of the culture. That's very interesting to me, and as it should be. So I mentioned earlier that we have done some interviews. I'll jump next to academic learning, and I've had many discussions with Allison Woodard, our literacy coach, and we're reviewing the implementation of a literacy coaching plan. This is in regard to the Lucy Calkins program. Those of you who are familiar with Lucy Calkins know that it is very comprehensive, very detailed, represents research-based approaches, and I believe we're in pretty good shape to see that more fully implemented as it is throughout the school. Just today we were having discussions about how it could possibly begin in the kindergarten level or take a new form there. I think starting at the foundation is great. Pre-K special needs program has also been very active this summer under the supervision of Tammy Sear and Ashley Satir. They had a high turnout, and their efforts really do make a difference. Often we do have the summer slide issues where students are away from school, and this was a great opportunity. It is, again, research-based. Kids who have access to pre-K services tend to do better. So that's a great way to start. I do note with the professional development efforts, and this is kudos to superintendent and to the central office, you're using target solutions, which is a great time saver when school begins, because most teachers like to hit the ground running. And we do have to review such things as school bullying, youth suicide awareness and prevention, FERPA, all these various mandates, but this is a way they can do it on their own time. It is digital and it is available online. So that way we don't have to use quality time to interact with that. So I would again like to mention our school learning environment. Brent Fournier has largely overseen the summer maintenance. He's filled me in on the facilities plan. I have a better sense of where we could possibly go or what the hopes are, and I think we're moving forward with that. I feel very positive about that. Lastly, I should mention that my own research tends to show that habits of mind or social emotional learning tends to be highly integral in improving academics. Usually the school districts who implement a programmatic approach to social emotional learning will see an academic increase of approximately 16 to 21%. So I'm very thrilled that habits of mind is an embedded piece at ASA. That is something that drew me to it. In fact, we've had many discussions today, and as we rework the schedule, I think we've got it down. It will be released very shortly. We have also a habits of mind calendar, which is more or less thematic. This covers things such as perseverance and how you would get through, how do you get into a growth mindset. So teaching students those kinds of skills, those social emotional learning skills, generally has a very good and long-lasting effect. Other than that, there are no other concerns that I'm aware of with legal or anything social, political, or cultural trucks. Wonderful group of people. I could go on, but I guess I won't since I'm the new guy. Any questions? Okay, thanks so much.
So Reg was unable to make it this evening, but we do have a report from him in the packet. Ross, not that you needed to have anything, but did you have anything from the student end?
I mean, just summer vacation. There's not really much happening for many of the students. Not really.
Great, thank you. All right, so next we're on to action items, the first of which is staff nominations, and there is one nomination.
Yes,
All
I would like to recommend for the first grade teaching of Beneath Beverly Satins, Kelly Berglund, and
right, so I will make a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation of Kelly Berglund for the Asa Adams Grade 1 teacher.
Second.
And is there any discussion? All right, do you know what the statute is for? All right, so I will make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A. And is there any discussion? All those in favor?